Volunteering contributes billions to the global economy every year, but the physical benefits are so substantial that doctors are now explicitly prescribing it to patients to reduce mortality rates. We tend to make specific assumptions about the people doing this work. We picture individuals with abundant free time, financial stability, and stable upbringings. This diagram maps out the Global Flourishing Study, a massive research effort designed to test those assumptions. It tracks nearly 203,000 individuals across 22 countries, zeroing in on 11 childhood predictors to see what actually drives adult altruism. Testing our societal stereotypes against hard global data forces us to question what actually creates a good citizen. Some of the results initially align with our biases. Growing up in a comfortable financial situation and having a strong relationship with a father steadily increase the likelihood you will give your time as an adult. The single strongest normal predictor is attending religious services frequently at age 12, but the data revealed a jarring anomaly. Experiencing physical or sexual abuse as a child predicts a significant increase in adult volunteering. Tracking a second variable, feeling like a family outsider, shows another surge. This isolation heavily increases adult community service. We have to investigate why experiencing the worst of humanity as a child compels someone to serve humanity as an adult. The traditional predictors operate on simple mechanics. Fathers who are present model positive behavior, and childhood religious involvement provides built-in social networks that make finding volunteer opportunities easy. The trauma data requires a different psychological lens. Researchers point to a phenomenon called post-traumatic growth. Surviving early adversity often forces the development of heightened empathy. Psychologists refer to this as altruism born of suffering. For children who are abused or ostracized, the home is an unsafe environment. Community service becomes a structural tool to build a chosen family, allowing them to find safe social connections outside of their biological unit. For many, volunteering is not a luxurious overflow of privilege, but a necessary mechanism for survival, connection, and healing. This response to trauma is not a universal human rule. It is filtered through a society's specific cultural norms. In the United States, survivors of childhood abuse show an 11% increase in volunteering, but in Japan, that figure spikes to 57%. Japanese culture places a high value on keeping face and avoiding community shame. This pressure often discourages victims from seeking traditional therapy. As a result, the relative anonymity of community service becomes the preferred alternative for finding social support. The study also uncovered a gender anomaly. Across most of the globe, being female is associated with a decreased likelihood of formal volunteering. This drop happens because women historically perform high volumes of invisible, unpaid domestic labor, like cleaning and caregiving, which restricts the bandwidth available for formal volunteering. Yet in Poland, being female significantly increases volunteering, proving that local culture can override sweeping global trends. An individual's desire to help others is dictated just as much by their nation's unwritten cultural rules as by their own internal personality. Volunteering must be viewed not as a pure act of individual goodness, but as an intricate systemic response to how society is organized. Take blood donation. Rates depend heavily on a country's structural collection regimes, whether they are state-run or charity-based. The system dictates who gives, rather than just relying on pure altruism. Policymakers attempting to increase volunteering will fail if they simply ask people to be better citizens. Successful interventions must target specific cultural blueprints, leveraging religious networks in some regions or providing alternative support structures for trauma survivors in others. The people working hardest to heal the world are often doing so because they know exactly what it feels like to be broken.